Hello artists. Today we are going to work with circles and patterns and color. It's going to be really fun. So you can either use a circle template if you have one, or you can use anything that's a circle, right? So this is orange juice lid, Gatorade, milk, baby food, jam, Arizona tea, quarter, nickel, dime, penny. This is a cap to a glue stick. What's this? Tape, a CD. Don't have it be one that you actually watch, like a DVD or something. If you had like a container, a glass, the glass's lid, coffee cup. Okay, so circles. Okay, so you're going to find some circles at your house or in the classroom, and then we're going to get started. Alright, so here is my journal. You're going to also need a pencil and a ruler. In your kit you have a precise pen, some watercolors. You could also use the markers that you got. If you got markers in your kit, these work really well. Okay, these Crayola Super Tips, so if you have those, any water soluble washable markers work really well. So I'm just going to flip to a new page in my journal, okay, and just go like that. So I just want a little bit of a border around the edge of my paper. So I'm going to do that with my pencil. I'm just going to eyeball it, but that's about like a 1/4 inch border around your paper. Do it in pencil and draw lightly so that you can erase later. Okay, one of the things that I find beginning students need practice with is drawing lightly. That was the bell, if you could hear it. Okay, so don't push down so hard. Okay, it's really hard to erase if you push down hard. So I just made a border there. And then we're going to want to make some circles starting from large to small. So if you're using your circle template, you want to get even bigger than this. So a CD is great. A lid of something, I might use this lid. Yeah, it's great. Okay, so whatever's around you, I want you to, lightly draw in the largest circle that you can. And if it's not perfect, oh well. And you don't want to go outside of the borders here. Okay, so we're going to keep it contained in the borders. Then you want to overlap to a little bit smaller circles, but they're still quite large. So maybe I'll just do one or two. And you just want to keep going down in size. So then I might put this circle over here. So you're going to put circles in circles. You're going to overlap some circles. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any even number like that is good. So 9, 11. If you have a bigger piece of paper, maybe 11 or 13. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and you can pause the video if needed and come back and do the next step. All right, now I'm going to be working with a ruler, and I'm going to divide up the space further. So I just want to divide it not right directly down the center, but down vertically. So I'm going to go either right or left of center, and I want to make a vertical light line all the way down like that, and then another one about a 1/4 inch away. So you could measure a 1/4 of an inch like this. Here's an inch, 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so having a little bit of space in there. Now that I look at it, it actually looks too big. So you can even do less space if you want. I'm not going to erase everything, but I probably will. Do less space. And then I want to break it up even further. So over here, I want to, again, not in half. So not in the middle. Maybe down here or up here, I'll make another set of lines. And then I want to kind of break it up over here. So again, not in the middle. And you could break it up even further, just so long as you're not doing it in the middle. In fact, I want to show you one that I've started. Here's one that I've started. And I have this nice rectangle here and some other rectangles. So let's put in some rectangles or squares. I don't want the lines to line up, so I'm going to go either above or below that. And this time I'm just going to make a line. And not make a double line because I'm making like a square here. Okay, so you're just dividing up the space so we can put different little things in it. The next thing I'm going to do is come in with my eraser, and I want to erase areas where I want the paper to stay white. So like in this column here, I don't want any of those. I want that to be white, and your column should be white too. So just erase on the inside of that column anything that kind of crosses that. And I'm not a very careful eraser, so then I just kind of go back lightly and put in these lines. And where it meets one of these, I'm going to do the same thing with these ones. These will just give our eye a little break, so it kind of breaks up the space. And in here, you can use the ruler to go back if you want. Again, it's really light, so this is practicing our making light marks. And then we kind of want to figure out which circles we're going to fill in and which are going to be behind and which are going to be in front. So for example, this square here, I want that to be in front. So this line that comes here, I'm just going to erase it. And this one here. So it kind of looks like this circle goes behind and then stops. I'll keep this one here. So we're just doing a little bit of editing by erasing some of where they overlap. And some of where they overlap I'm going to leave. Okay, I'm going to take out this corner part here. So we're editing, right? We're taking things out. We're layering things. And you might find that you actually want to put something in. So like I want another little circle in there. So I'm going to put a circle in there. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to be putting in watercolor in here. So you get your watercolors out. Okay, so I have my watercolor supplies out. You might want either a large and a small brush. These are watercolor brushes. Also some washable markers. And we're going to put in some color in here. These are my watercolors. You just want to get your watercolors wet first by dropping some water in them, kind of activating the pigment. This is an old set that I have. You might have these here, and you would just drop in your water, okay, whatever watercolors you have, or markers. And then what you're going to do is you want to be mindful of where you're putting your water. So for an example, let me do this real quick. So if I have some color here, let me get some water down. I'm just kind of getting the page ready. If I have some color here, let's do some blue. Look what happens when I paint that blue. See how much it spreads? Okay, and if I put another color next to it, maybe orange, where they meet, I was being kind of nice. You can see how it's turning kind of darker brown. Where they meet, that's going to happen. And so maybe you don't want them to meet, right? But that capillary action, the water and the pigment filling the water of wherever it is. So for example, up here, if I wanted to just add some pink and I really didn't want that orange, if I put the pink up here, it's just going to go right in to the orange. See how it moves? So if I don't want that to happen, I need to make sure it's dry before I put another color next to it. So that's just a little example. So what I want you to do is I want you to fill in some areas, and I'll show you a couple of different techniques. So the first technique is just filling in, right? So just taking your watercolor and filling in, and you want to go slow. And I usually outline, so go around the edge. I'm actually working on a mixed media paper here. This is our journal in class. So watercolor is going to react differently. And then I just put in some water on the inside. So I want you to try that technique. Okay, I'll do it again. Try it in a few places. So maybe I'll do it with this kind of pinky purple. So wherever you're going to do it here, let's see, I'll do it right here. So I'm going to outline. Make sure you guys can see this. Outline. or inline maybe, you know, just on the inner edge. Okay, make sure you're using enough water, and then fill in with just water. It creates a nice emphasis on the edge there. So go ahead and do that for a few. Make sure you don't do it next to each other. The other thing you can do is you can use your markers. So I'm kind of using muted colors here a little bit. So I'm going to test this. Just test it and see. It's kind of a muted green. So you can just do it somewhere where there's not any other water. I might do it over here. And you're going to outline or go on the inside. And then just take your water and run over the water-soluble marker. See, it's starting to bleed. So these are Crayola Super Tips that I have here, but any washable marker will work. Isn't that nice? I think it's a really nice effect. Okay, and you can see right there, right here, I'm getting some bleed. Okay, I'm okay with that, but if you're not, you can take some paper towel and lift it, and then you have to wait till it's fully dry. So you're going to go to a different area. Okay, I don't care though. I'm cool with it. Because for me, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. But that's what I was talking about. So go ahead and fill in. I'm trying to use each color at least twice. So I got the yellow here, the green here. I need to do a pink or whatever this purple is somewhere. And then this, I think this is actually Payne's Gray that I have in this one here, right here. Okay, so that's the first technique I want you guys to try. The second technique I want you to try is to fill in a space with a gradient that's a little bit more solid, but goes from one color to another. So I'm going to try to do this big space here, and I'm going to go from gray. What color should I go to? Oh, it's so hard to decide. Maybe to a blue? Yeah, from gray to blue, maybe? So I'm going to get my gray here. I'm going to put it on the outside, kind of like I did before. I'll go all the way there. And I'm going to fill that in with just water. This is just water. And this isn't watercolor paper, so it's doing a lot of soaking in, which is just fine. Okay, and I'm just making this gradient go from one color to another. Actually, I think I'll make it go to that purple. So I'm on this side, I'm going to put the purple, and then they're going to meet in the middle. It's like a two-tone gradient, kind of. That purple's pretty strong there. Okay, and the watercolor will dry lighter. Okay, so don't freak out if it's super dark. Like it'll dry lighter in a little bit. So I'm going to have them meet here. You can see when they meet, they just kind of like rush into each other. And then I'm just going to help it kind of make a new color. I'm trying to be really cautious of these edges of these lines and try to make them nice and smooth. I'm also going in here, adding a little bit more pigment. While it's wet, you can add more pigment here. See how they kind of flow together? So do that in a few places. Okay, and as this dries, I'm just going to fill in, like I did here and here, some of the areas just with a light wash. So it's just color lightly. And I have a kind of 4 colors going on here. I don't know if I want to introduce any other colors. So I'm just going to kind of keep playing around. I might mix a color though. I might mix the purple. Well, I kind of did that in there, didn't I? Never mind. The purple and the Payne's gray. Might mix those together. Because they're already kind of mixing in here. This one's really wet, so I got to be careful. If you are watching this video on YouTube and you're not in my high school classes, I would love your subscription. If you can click the like and subscribe button down below, then other people will see this video too. I would be so grateful. See you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.